Welcome to episode 6 of Toys at Tabletop and Beyond, which we're recording into the second week of January, right?
Something like that.
Is it the 12th, I think? So the last episode actually goes up tomorrow, even though we recorded it like 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
It took a while to edit because it was like 2 hours and 40 minutes because we went pretty far into the Beyond.
Yeah.
And we won't be doing that in today's episode, hopefully.
Hopefully not.
Because we're on something of a deadline. So, okay. So, just in very brief channel news related to this, I've done a lot of Battletech videos recently. A lot of unboxings and a short story review. There'll be a book review coming soon-ish. I'm halfway through the book now. I can't remember the name. It doesn't matter. I'll obviously figure it out whenever I make the video for it. But at least I'd hope so. So we have those. I did another Lego building video where I built a Lego snowman that I had from 2014 just laying around. Kind of should have checked the value on it before I opened the box, but oh well, that ship has sailed.
How much is it?
Sealed, I think it was worth like $25.
Huh.
For a set that probably cost me like $6 or something.
If it wasn't, a gift with purchase.
No, I definitely got it in a store. But, yeah, so that video is already up, so check that out. There is going to be, probably before this goes up, almost definitely before this goes up, there's going to be an update on various things Battletech related video. I've already done the video and did an addendum because 2 other news things came out like right after I filmed it. And I know this is YouTube and all, and I should have just made 2 other videos just because that's what everyone else does. But, you fine folks, I don't want to waste your time like that. I only waste it here when we're going to the Beyond parts.
Wow.
And so I love you for sticking around for it, those of you that do. I think there's 2 or 3 of you. But yeah, so we're not going to be doing that today, though. We're a little more concise and to the point, which would be easy because one of these topics we don't know much about it. So
not yet.
It's going to be pretty easy to get through all the news on it. Okay, so with that said, our first topic is actually, hold on. I guess I do want to summarize one thing on the Battletech front. One of the videos I've recorded but isn't up yet will be before this one goes up. Some of the stuff from the Battletech Mercenaries Kickstarter is about to hit retail or at the very least the Catalyst website. And I detail that in the other video, but it's essentially the main Mercenaries box, 2 of the Lance packs, although one's a Clan Star, but anyway, and in the basic salvage boxes. So that is all coming to the Catalyst website. For those of you who have seen stuff scattered around, that has all just been stuff people actually got from the Kickstarter campaign. That includes some of the stores that have stuff. So if you see it on for ludicrous prices on eBay, just wait, it's coming to retail. Okay. Yep. Now, if you miss it there, then you might be back to ludicrous prices because some of this stuff, once it goes out of print, never comes back in print. Yeah, so I just wanted to paraphrase that, throw it out there, but you should check out the other video where I go a little more in depth on it. So, on to our first topic, which is actually somewhat related to Battletech in a few ways.
Yeah, there's a new miniatures game coming from Bandai.
Yes. So, for those of you who know your anime, you might know where this is going. To space.
Yes.
There is apparently a Gundam miniatures game coming out.
Gundam Assemble.
Yeah. And I say Gundam because based on the models we've seen, it's at the very least Universal Century, at least the 1 Year War, and Gundam Wing. And it looks like into Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. Because I did see the...
Gundam Seed.
Okay.
The one spaceship we know about is from Gundam Seed.
Yeah, I know nothing about Gundam Seed. I have actually recorded about an hour and a half long video where I go through Gundam stuff in anticipation of us doing something like this, talking about this. Plus I watched Requiem for Vengeance on Netflix, which was really good, by the way.
I need to watch that.
So I got to see how I'm going to edit that down because it's way too long. But yes, I am something of a Gundam fan.
So am I.
So
I was in that sweet spot growing up for Toonami with Gundam Wing and Mobile Suit Gundam and Gundam 8th MS Team and War in the Pocket and Stardust Memories and
don't forget Char's Counterattack.
And Char's Counterattack.
Have you seen Zeta Gundam?
No, I have not.
Well, I'll let you borrow my copy sometime. But yeah, so if you've seen anything else on the channel, you know I'm a bit of a BattleTech fan, so this really shouldn't come as a surprise that I like the anime all about the giant robots smashing into each other.
The giant robots commit more crimes.
Yeah, and they do. But yeah, I don't know, like, we're going to have to see rules and everything, which we don't have yet. We're assuming these things are going to have stat cards or something.
Yeah, the little bit people have seen, it's a D6-based game.
And they're on hexes.
And they are on hexes. They're about roughly 2 inches tall.
This should all start sounding really familiar here.
The hexes might be a little bigger.
Like, if nothing else, you could potentially use them for Alpha Strike.
Yeah.
Just use the tape measures to the hexes. Or measure center to center on the hexes or something. So yeah. Now, we're going to have to see rules because there's definitely a disparity in power level between the Universal Century and Gundam Wing for sure. Because Gundam Wing is definitely like a shonen anime.
Yeah.
Where you got your 5 big damn heroes, the leader of which is literally named Hero Yui.
Who has a Gundam that is able to destroy, like, entire space stations. Like, not just space stations, but habitat space stations.
Yeah. That's before the upgrade, isn't it?
That is... No, that is after the upgrade.
Okay.
That is Wing Zero itself.
Okay.
That is before you get to Wing Zero Custom, though. The one with the angel wings.
Yes, the one that looks really cool, but is probably impractical.
Yes.
But that's why things work in anime. That's why BattleTech things look like boxes on legs, because they're meant to look like things that we might actually build at some point.
Yeah.
Now, if I remember right, the Gundams are they taller or are they shorter? I can never remember. Are they the ones that are roughly 30 feet or roughly 50 feet tall? Because battle mechs are in one, like, there is a size disparity between them and BattleTech, if I remember correctly.
I think they're 50.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Don't quote me for, like...
I was thinking the Gundams were the larger ones. Now, that's not to say, like, the Gundams themselves, I think, would win in most matchups. The other mobile suits? No, I think the BattleTech ones would smoke them.
More than likely.
Except for the fact that they can fly around like ninjas with jetpacks. I mean, that is a tremendous advantage, don't get me wrong, but, like, a Mad Cat has enough weapons to level a city. So, you know, whereas a Leo has, like...
A gun.
Has a machine gun that fires tank shells.
And a shield.
Yeah, and a shield. Actually, I think the Leos also have beam sabers.
They do.
I was thinking more like the Zaku. The Zaku has a machine gun and a heat hawk.
Yep.
That's a tomahawk with a heat blade. It's not until the Gelgoogs, I think, that the Zeons have beam sabers.
Yeah, but even then, those have, like, a weapon and a beam saber.
Yeah, well, the Gelgoog would have turned the tide of the war, because on the technical level, it's on par with the RX-78 Gundam. It's just that Amuro is a new type and is really well adjusted to the Gundam by that point. So he can just plow through even the Gelgoogs. But yeah. So, a little bit of insight there. For those of you who don't know, new types are essentially psychics. Gundam Wing, or Gundam and Gundam Wing, but Gundam is more on, is a little farther afield on the sci-fi, like the phi part. there is, like I said, new types. There are people born in space. It's not everyone born in space, but they are all born in space who have psychic abilities. And both sides of the war, the Federation and the Zeons, are trying to figure out how to weaponize them. The main character and the main opponent are both new types. The girl they both fall for is a new type. And spoiler alert for a movie that came out, I think, in the late 80s or early 90s. But in the finale to all of this that matters, because I think F91 is also in the Universal Century, but it's like 60 years later or something. So the part that matters, it's literally the hatred of the two main guys have for each other, supercharging their psychic powers that saves the Earth. Then they die, and their souls, along with the soul of the woman they both loved, who accidentally gets killed way back in the original series, are just floating around in space forever.
Probably fighting each other.
That's the way things go in the Gundam universe, folks. Yeah, like there's a whole like. Oh, by the way, Tomino, he was one of the producers on Requiem for Vengeance.
Ooh,
just so you know.
Yes.
There's some hard moments in that show.
Yes, the true thing for Gundam is not that it's just glorifies war. No, it is not glorified.
No, the original series is very much a, oh, look at this giant mecha, this will be awesome. By the end of it, you're like, you've got PTSD because half the named characters have been murdered at various points, as several in like not glorious fashion.
Yep.
And it, like, the main character has PTSD, and he only keeps going because the commander just keeps slapping the ever-living shit out of him. And he's literally like, I don't want to go kill people anymore. 'Cause he's like a 16-year-old kid.
Yep.
And he's just like, damn it, Amuro. Get back in the Gundam and go kill more Zeons. And he's like haunted by the faces of the people he killed. And like the original series, the whole point was war sucks.
For everyone.
For everyone. And like it's always kids that go off and do the fighting and dying while the adults are off pissing each other off. And yeah. So now I have no idea how much of that's going to translate to the board game. The
Not
tabletop
much.
game. And it'd be interesting to see if they even bother making like the tanks and jets.
Well, they're making the balls.
Well, the ball's super technically a mobile suit. If there's an equivalent to an urban mech in Gundam, it's the ball.
Yeah.
It is literally a ball with two little arms and a gun on the top. And it operates in space. I don't even think they can operate in the atmosphere.
Nope. They're going to make the gun tank.
Well, the gun tank's
a Gundam, yes.
Yeah, the gun tank's a Gundam.
The gun cannon they're going to make.
The gun cannon. Now, I've always pronounced them GMs, but I guess it's supposed to be pronounced Jim.
I guess.
Which, it's stupid. They're GMs. That's like people say GIF. It's GIF. No, sorry. I got that backwards, didn't I?
People say GIF, but it's GIF.
It's GIF, not GIF. Dodge that one. I've seen the memes of people going to hell for saying that wrong. Because, you're not going to get to the pearly gates and say, hey, Jod.
Like, I would like the vehicles. And we know we're at least getting one spaceship, the Archangel.
Well, they might have a difference. Might have also have for space combat and have like the fleets and stuff.
No.
Oh, well, never mind.
No, because the photo you see is the Archangel's taking up 3 hexes. It's on a 3-hex base. And there's some Gundams, mobile suits, whatever you want to call them, on 2-hex bases, too.
Like the mobile armors?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I know for a fact that's not, considering power scale for the size of the base.
Well, I mean...
Because Wing Zero Custom's on a single hex base.
Yeah, I was going to say, remember the mobile suits can blast apart the space carriers like there's nothing to.
So, but yeah. Hopefully we get some of the vehicles.
So I will say this for the Gundam series, that I wish Battletech would address. I think they kind of like, I think everyone assumes this is the case for Battletech, but I don't think it's ever actually been explained anywhere. In Gundam, there's a reason why they use mobile suits. There's a reason why they have to get up close and fight. It's because of the wonderful baloney Minovsky particles.
Yep.
That block radar and make it so you cannot get a lock at distance. So because of that, and since mobile suits and the ships produce them, they just flood the area with Minovsky particles, and it forces you to go into basically hand-to-hand combat almost. Whereas with like BattleTech, everyone assumes that it's like incredibly advanced electronic countermeasures that make it so you can't get a missile lock at real distance, because realistically the ranges in the BattleTech game are absurd. Like, you should be able to fire like 8 maps over and hit somebody, because that's where weapons technology is right now. Forget 1,000 years in the future.
I mean, with the right miniatures for the BattleTech, you can.
Yes, with artillery you can, but I mean like a tank, like a demolisher tank should be able to hit a mech at that distance.
True.
And because the projectiles fly fast enough, there's no way the mech's going to dodge them. And the mech's 3 stories tall. You know, if you can't hit that, it's literally like you're trying to hit the broadside of a barn. But like with Gundam, now part of the other thing is they're more mobile. But like with the Gundams, they're a lot more mobile.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. The fact we got to paint them, I've still got my mountain of BattleTech miniatures.
Yeah,
and assemble them.
Gundam assemble. It's not going to be like Gunpla level assembly. You're not going to have to like take 20 parts to assemble 1 foot.
Oh, this is an awesome armored pauldron here on my shoulder. I'm going to work on this for the next 3 hours.
Yeah. It's from the RX we saw. It looks like it's in like 5 or 6 pieces.
Yeah.
So it does come on a runner. Hopefully it's left on the runner for you have that fun. Cut it out and get rid of the gate mark moment.
Yeah.
That's always fun. And then, probably will need some glue for it. Because it don't look like it's going to be push fit.
I'm just gonna use my 5-inch figures that I have. We're just gonna up the scale.
I got a Master Grade Wing Zero. You sure you want to do that?
Yeah, because I've got like a whole Xeon army.
Well, if you line them up in front of me, I'm pretty sure I can get rid of them.
See, that's gonna be the distraction. While you're doing that, Char is gonna get up behind you and deal with you. The red comet, but he won't be in his Zaku. He's gonna be in the Zeong. The thing he has, the thing with no legs at the very end of Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one moment in the original series that has led people to speculate that the Gundam itself might have achieved sentience on some level.
Oh.
It's the last thing it does. Amuro sets it to just walk down the open shaft because he knows Char has the Zeong down there as a distraction, and it gets down there, and as the Zeong fires, the Gundam raises its rifle and shoots the Zeong. Like, that wasn't programmed into it to do that. It just did it. And so everyone's like, what the hell's that? Like Amuro somehow new type it to do that from distance? Like, it was just reflexive because of all the combat data that had been loaded into it? Because remember, with each mission, the Gundam was learning.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Could have been that coupled with psyche residue from Amuro.
Could have been anything. But yeah, I want to see more about the game, obviously. And is it going to a crowdfunding, or is it just going to be released?
I think it's just going to be released.
All right. Do they have any kind of idea when?
July 12th is when it releases as part of the promos for the upcoming Gundam trading card game, which I do not plan to buy into, so don't you even think about it. Well, I plan to buy the one of the ones that come with the actual Gundam Assemble Mini, but...
July, you say?
Yes, and before you go looking, I checked earlier today, Bandai historically has been at Gen Con.
Well.
So there's a chance we might actually see this at Gen Con.
Now the turntables. I'd say there's more than a chance.
I would love it to be released officially with Gen Con.
Well, I don't know. You'll have to go to that booth while I go to Catalyst then.
Yeah, I'll do that.
But you're going to get a card to get in line at Catalyst.
So I'm going to have to stop long enough at Catalyst to grab a card, then run to Bandai.
No, that's not going to work. Because you're going to get to Bandai.
Yeah.
Actually, if it's like some other things, you're going to get to Bandai like at 3 in the morning.
Well, Gen Con does not endorse lines.
No, they don't.
But that Thursday, we're going to have to get there early.
For good or ill. Oh.
Or I might get there early. We'll find out.
Why is that?
Well, for we can line up close to the doors. Like, actually have it planned out which door we need to be at. You for Catalyst, me for Bandai.
We'll have to get Chris to head towards WizKids.
Yeah.
To get whatever D&D promo they'll sell out of in literally 30 seconds that like 2 people got a hold of.
He won't even make it to the booth and it'll be sold out.
No, he won't. Like, I'm just going to plow through, like, grab a thing from the guy at Catalyst while I'm in motion and just keep moving. Like, I'll be back to the WizKids booth. Thanks. Just like, I got to wear my Battletech, my Lao hat, so he knows. So he's like, hey, there's a Battletech guy. I'm like, yeah. Just all one swift motion and just keep moving or something.
Wear your shirt as well.
Yeah. I'll put the patch on. I'll put some of the patches on too. Just so there's no doubt.
Like, that's Battletech fan. He's taking that card to come back later.
Maybe, maybe Brian will be there too. Well, he usually comes a little bit later.
Think so.
But maybe. I don't know. I'll have to ask him. But yeah, like I said, I've got to see the game. I really don't want to paint more miniatures.
Hey. You ain't the only one that doesn't want to paint more miniatures.
I've at least painted some of my battles.
I have 10 miniatures painted, my friend.
Oh, well now.
Actually, hold on. No. 5, 6, 7. Might have 12.
Now, are they like completely painted or just primed?
Completely painted.
For which faction?
Well, they're Space Marines. Duh.
Now we're talking a different game. So did you paint them up for the Ultramarines?
No. But they are blue.
Space Wolves?
Those are more gray-blue, but...
Okay, well, I'm out of guesses.
Storm Wardens.
Okay. I don't know who that is. Are they all really Alfarius in disguise?
No.
No.
Although they could be.
I was going to say, you say that now. Just wait. Yeah. I have 3 Plague Marines painted.
And I'm painting some of my D&D minis, so there's that.
Okay, well, I'm going to like Battletech miniatures. Have you painted any of those?
No.
Well.
Those are all a unified color, Bobbie. Plastic. Bare plastic.
Wow.
It's a unified color. It's an army. It works.
It is, and you don't have to paint them for Battletech. There's no bonus points if you do, unlike Warhammer.
Hey, the only thing I need for Battletech is a standee.
Yeah.
I don't even need a miniature.
I know.
I could literally put down a token that says Atlas, and that would work.
Yeah, this is true. Well, I actually saw a thing the other day. A guy posted something about, these armies are really good in tournament play. And 3/4 of the response was like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, that's not how this game works. Like you use whatever. Like, what armies are you even talking about, dude? And it finally took someone to explain, like, well, he's probably playing based on using the master unit list to determine who can use what. In which case, yes, some of them are better than others depending on the time frame and everything. But
you mean you just don't use whatever you want?
Well, apparently that's the way they were playing. Or it's did you see the meme that I sent you?
What meme?
There's one. It's like you show up to a new place to play BattleTech, and they're playing 30-25 only. So you bring a bunch of Mad Cats because you know they were built in like 2945 or something, and it's a clip from Malcolm in the middle, where the youngest one's saying, "The future is now, old man."
Yeah. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, I will post that here in the video so you folks can also witness it. Or did you see the other one I sent you? It's a Warhammer mech.
Yeah, Warhammer or something, I guess.
It's like Warhammer something or another. I don't know. I just play BattleTech. Now, did you watch the video clip I sent in the group text just before you sent like 2 or 3 of them?
I don't know. I was kind of amazed. You then sent one of those back to us.
Well, you saw my comment afterwards, so...
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, man, this is good. These guys are going to love this. So I was like, oh, right. That's where I got it, of course. Well, maybe more than one of us will watch it now. It's that. Don't watch it right now.
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay, what'd you think of that?
Interesting.
Lord of the Rings meets Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah. It was very good.
Yeah. I don't know about Gimli being a dreadnought, but...
It fits.
Kind of.
Stubby legs and stubby legs.
I mean, like, thematically, yes. But, like, he couldn't have also been like a squat.
Yeah, but squats don't hate elves.
Oh, okay.
You gotta take that approach, too.
Sure, but, like, I don't think the dreadnought's going to come around in the end.
It might.
Like, I think that whole, like, near-death, living for thousands of years that way, probably pretty set in their ways. Or at least I know that one that the Tau guy got a hold of was. That, I don't remember what the Tau guy's name is, but, like, once he, like, scanned it and realized that it was literally, like, 10,000 years old, older than his whole civilization. And it's just, like, a thing on the battlefield he came across. And translating what it says, basically just, like, die, is all it kept saying to him.
Yep.
As in, like, what he wants the Tau to do, not what he wants to do.
Yep.
At that moment, like, realized, like, oh my god, like, this is what we're up against.
That's not even the oldest one.
Yeah, no.
That's Bjorn the Fell-Handed.
Yeah, that was just like one of those moments where it's like, oh, so to the Tau, we're the Eldritch Horrors, okay. Like,
yeah.
wait till they meet the actual ones.
They have.
Didn't that guy also wind up as something like a dreadnought?
I don't know.
I think that's like the things I've read from the clip and the comments. They've said that like he had a similar fate ultimately.
Maybe.
So anyway, look for the Gundam game coming soon.
Yeah. Maybe all you need is D6s?
Yeah, well, just like BattleTech.
Maybe you'll mark how many hexes you move?
Hey, maybe we'll have a rare moment where BattleTech sues another game for stealing from it. And it'll be ironic because it's an anime-based game. It's like the Harmony Gold lawsuit, but in reverse.
Or maybe Bandai got smart and licensed the rules.
That's a possibility. Or realize that, or they're going to press their luck on the concept that you can't actually trademark and copyright rules. Like that's been ruled in courts. The only thing that comes close is somehow they got a patent on it's tapping from Magic the Gathering. And like the patent office is basically like, yeah, forget it, that's never happening ever again. And I believe that patent has expired because they're only good for so many years. So yeah, like actual mechanics, you can copyright the exact text, as in like the sequence of words that you use to describe it, but not like the actual rules themselves. If you can describe them in another way, and you can use generic terms like roll the dice, stuff like that. I think the only thing Wizards of the Coast actually owns is the word Dungeon Master. Like, you can't use that for other games.
No wonder every other game uses the term Game Master.
Yes, that's exactly why, because they'll get sued and they don't want to be.
Or Teller or stuff like that.
That's why they'll have to come up with other titles for it. Yeah. But yeah, so as we get closer, as we find out more, we'll talk about that.
Yep.
So our other big topic, you want to go with the Lego topic?
Yeah.
All right. So our other big topic is that apparently, from a page where I've been following for Lego leak information that's been pretty accurate, apparently we're getting a Star Trek Enterprise Lego set for the Enterprise D, that's Next Generation, that's supposed to come with several of the crew members. And it's supposedly like about a 3,000 piece set. So I don't think it's a MIDI scale set. Like, it's going to have an interior, I'm thinking. Obviously not anywhere close to scale, but so I'm guessing probably the bridge, maybe the med lab, the transporter room, maybe engineering.
Maybe Picard's office.
Maybe. It just depends on how it's structured. I mean, like, I don't know, because I think the obvious way is like the top of the saucer will detach.
Yeah.
So we can see the interior. But it would have to be huge to have even just those rooms, you know, because the neck isn't very big, even though that's where engineering should be, I think. So it would have to be down in the bottom.
Well,
like behind the deflector dish.
Yeah. If that part of the body you have a panel you remove to reveal engineering, then the saucer section, I would have the bridge, 10 forward. It's the bar.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like the bridge sits at the top, right?
Yes. So you can have that centered.
So then you'd have that, and then it would probably detach like the modulars, and they would have then they're just one other level probably.
Yeah, you could have 10 forward. You can have the med bay, and then like I don't know.
I figure the transporter room is probably gonna be
transporter room,
because they could make the holodeck. The only problem is what would be in it, other than just a patterned.
That's the best I would do with the holodeck,
because there's too many good ones to pick from, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you'd be too episode specific.
Yep.
You know, because you don't want to be like the Robin Hood episode. You know, because people buy it. Some people are going to be like, "The hell is this?
Why aren't you just making Forest Men sets?"
Yeah, and
because that's what Forest Men were supposed to be.
Right. So then that way later on you could make some sets, you know. I don't expect like to slot in or anything, but like have sets that you could be like the holodeck. But yeah, so we don't know anything like that. But there's a second rumor. Actually, let me finish this rumor. Supposedly it's going to be released on Black Friday, which I don't know if Lego's ever released a set on Black Friday. I don't recall them doing that. Maybe they have.
If this is what they're going to do, folks, get ready for their website to crash and burn.
Yeah, that's probably a real distinct possibility.
Their servers are going to be set on fire.
Yeah. That's why we've already begun discussing possibly making a pilgrimage to the actual physical store.
Well, you were discussing about going. Nothing about me going.
Well, it was a conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, you hadn't committed to it or anything. I mean, I haven't committed to it.
Yeah.
But, like, we were discussing it.
We also need to know the price point.
This is true. Because we're probably not going to be an even $300, even though it should be for 3,000 pieces. But it's a licensed set. It sounds like it has a lot of minifigures.
$350 it is.
Probably. Notably, Ro Laren is not one of these figures, and that's going to be relevant here in a moment. Which, I mean, I wouldn't have expected her to be. She's only in a handful of episodes. And she's only in like one episode of Picard. And season 3. And surprise appearance, though.
Do we have Tasha Yar?
I don't remember if she's one of the people or not.
Do we have Barkley?
I doubt it. Like this is the kind of set that's ripe for like, let's make some other set related to this to put the other characters into. Because I think it's Picard.
Do we have O'Brien?
I don't know. I think it's Picard.
I would save him for Deep Space Nine, anyways.
I think it's Picard. Both Beverly and Wesley Crusher, apparently. Worf, Riker, then I think Data and Geordi. I think those are the ones listed in the thing.
There's someone missing there.
Well, I mean, you're missing Troy for the bridge.
Yeah.
If it's early season, or if it's season 1, you're missing Tasha Yar. Which, if you had Tasha Yar, then your Worf would be in a red uniform. even though he's in a yellow uniform through 6 of the 7 seasons. In season 1, Geordi's still in a red outfit, isn't he? Because he's not the chief engineer at first. It's some other dude that gets killed.
I don't know.
Kind of.
It's been a while since I've watched it.
Yeah, and then you have your other characters like Barkley, like Dr. Pulaski, even though I know she's not popular at all.
Not particularly.
Chief O'Brien,
Kiko,
Nurse. What was her name? The Asian nurse.
I don't know.
Gowan. All I know is I'm pretty sure the lady who played her actually just died like a week or 2 ago. Ogawa. I don't know, but she was Dr. Crusher's main nurse. You know, she had a couple, but she was the main one. Q, since he's a recurring character.
Q would be nice.
If you want to go, there's a couple of like Gowron as a recurring character. Maybe there's 1 or 2 Romulan commanders that showed up more than once.
Which you could totally reuse a head for that. But Tasha Yar won.
Yeah, Tasha Yar's could be reused. I wish that plotline would have gone somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, or like, I wish it would have shown up like in Nemesis or something. You know,
that would have been nice.
It's the one he's played by Andreas Katsoulis. I can't think of his name though. You have any idea who that is?
Nope.
Did you watch Babylon 5?
I remember an episode here or there.
Do you remember Jakar?
Oh.
Chad, you need to watch Babylon 5. It's some of the greatest TV ever made. Jakar is one of the greatest characters ever committed to film. He's awesome. Let's see. See Hot Shots Part 2?
Yes.
He is the guy who's torturing Richard Crenna at one point, where he's zapping him with the electricity.
Oh.
And he's I see you're used to pain or something. He's I've been married twice. Oh.
Okay, I know who you're talking about now.
Okay, yeah, that's he plays Tomahawk. That's who he plays. That's the Romulan's name. He could have him, Spock.
Yeah,
a couple episodes. But yeah, I mean, there's a number of characters we could have. The main villain from Deep Space Nine, the Cardassian. Gul Dukat.
Yeah.
We could have not Gul Dukat because he plays 2 other Cardassians. He plays a Romulan in an earlier episode, back in season 1.
No, you save the Next Generation Cardassian set to be a Cardassian, a desk, Picard, and some lights.
Yeah. You'll have the option to put the 5th one on there. That's David Warner. He played Chancellor Gorkon in Star Trek 6, played the Federation Ambassador in Star Trek 5. I'm pretty sure he has another Star Trek role in there somewhere.
Well, under all that makeup, how can you tell?
Yeah. But, the guy that played Gul Dukat is in Total Recall.
Which one?
The good one with Arnold. Whenever they're on Mars, there's a guy that's kind of the head of the cops that work for Cohagen.
Yeah.
That pulls Michael Ironside to the side at one point for a call from Cohagen.
Yeah.
That's him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hard to recognize him without all the prosthetics.
Yeah, he's also in Arena. Did you ever see that?
I don't think so.
It's a Full Moon Entertainment, I think Full Moon, sci-fi movie where it's on an alien space station. And they make it so that they can adjust people's strength levels so that different species can fight each other on an even ground. And he's kind of a guy that kind of runs it, but is also kind of controlling the outcome and gambling and stuff. So there he looks like Gul Dukat a lot because he's in gold makeup. But anyway, so the other rumor is that there's going to be a gift with purchase with this, which, for those of you who don't know this about Lego, sometimes, actually very frequently, they will have like another set that you get. Now, sometimes it's if you spend X amount of dollars before they run out. Like each month, they have new ones. Other times, it'll be if you buy this specific set, you get this other set for free. Like the one released this month, the Tudor Corner.
Yeah.
Came with like a newsstand kiosk. That's not the name of it. I can't remember what the name of it is, but that's what it is. And some of those ones like that tend to be worth quite a bit of money on the secondary market because usually you have to buy something big. Like the Tudor Corner is like a $230 set. Okay? So, with the Enterprise, supposedly is going to be one of the shuttlecraft. Is it the Galileo class? Is that from Next Generation?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a Galileo class.
I believe so.
I think. But it comes with the figure for Ro Laren. So it'll be a unique figure in a unique set that you can only get that comes out on Black Friday. This is like the ultimate, like this is like a like in a fantasy movie whenever like an eclipse happens during a planetary alignment kind of thing. Like only bad things will come of this. And so, yeah. Or is that from the original series?
That's from the original series.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, the Galileo's from the original series. Should have known that because you basically never see them. That's why they invented the transporter for the show, by the way. Like the real world reason, and so they didn't have to keep filming the sequence of the shuttle flying around.
Mm-hmm.
They could just, hey, you're on one set, now you're on this set. And then they just kind of had to work out the ramifications later. And I still see people argue that would be an advantage against the Empire if the Federation and the Empire ever fought. And they keep forgetting whenever like a windstorm disrupts the transporter, and then Star Destroyers most definitely have shields. They have two different kinds of shields, in fact. So no, transporters are not getting through those. It's baloney. Anyway, so expect that thing to be worth some ludicrous amount of money on the secondary market if that comes to pass. Like a recent example, last year they released a Lego set for Barad-dûr, Sauron's fortress from Lord of the Rings. And these also usually sell out within like 3 days tops because Lego makes like 10 of them. Because they're thinking, well, no one's going to buy this, I guess. We'll be nice and let the peasantry that saved up all their pennies buy this, get this extra set. That seems to be how they operate. Mm-hmm. Instead of like, no, we're going to sell like tens of thousands of these on day one. We need to have these ready to go. They're just like, we'll make like 20.
Yeah.
But
the Enterprise D did have a Galileo.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It had a Type 6 shuttlecraft named Galileo.
Oh, okay. I was kind of wondering if it was like the runabouts on Deep Space Nine. They're all named after rivers. You pay attention?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Enterprise D has Berman, Curie, Fermi, Galileo, Goddard.
They're named after scientists.
Magellan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Scientist or astronomer specifically? You said Curie was in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's scientists because Marie Curie.
And Fermi.
Yeah. Yes, the man who coined the Fermi paradox, which for those of you that don't know, essentially he was walking along one day after eating lunch or something in a parking lot. It was basically like talking to whoever was with him or nobody, who knows. And because, some of these people are half insane anyway, because the line between insanity and genius actually is very thin. But yeah, he's basically like, hey, so we've been sending radio signals out for decades now. Why haven't aliens come to Earth? That's the genesis of the Fermi paradox, which is essentially, you would think, if there were aliens to make contact with, our radio signals would have traveled, let's see, from the 30s, because it was the Olympics in Berlin was the first really powerful broadcast. That was almost 100 years ago. They have reached a distance of almost 100 light years from Earth because they travel at the speed of light. And that's a pretty good chunk of astronomical geography. Like, if there was something out there that could receive it, why haven't they sent the signal back or shown up or what have you? And this has led to several hypotheses. I personally go with the Great Filter theory, that civilizations hit a moment that you either survive or you don't. And Most of them haven't, if there are others. And the only problem with the great filter theory is, since we don't know what the potential filter is, we don't know if we've passed that point or not. Because it could be nuclear weapons, and we have thus far not blown ourselves up with them. So, yay, maybe that's it, and maybe we will continue on. Or maybe it's social media, and we're in the act of destroying ourselves with it right now. Or it's some other random thing in the future that we have no earthly idea, no pun intended, that what it could possibly be. Like, who knows? Or there's the other potentially more depressing theory. Actually, there's one potentially terrifying theory. In either direction you view it, is that either we're it, like there is no other intelligent life. So it's one of those good news. No one's coming to destroy us. Bad news, there's no one out there to meet.
Yeah.
Like, it's an equally, it's good, but also, kind of downtrodden and horrifying, when you think about it.
But imagine all the beachfront property out there for the taking.
This is true. There's a lot. And we can make more.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on planets we don't care about.
Yep.
Plow comets into them and let the ice melt. But, yeah. So, the Enterprise said this could be a complete and total cluster.
Yeah. I foresee the Lego website not surviving Black Friday.
No. And of course, with that price point, now see, here's the real fun thing. They're probably going to do like they do with other sets and let Lego Insider members buy them first. Now, mind you can sign up for free at any point.
Yeah, you can.
There's no cost to it. But you do get your first crack at the sets. And sometimes the gift with purchase sells out before they go to mass release. I think it did with the Tudor Corner. Or if it didn't, it was the day it mass released.
Oh, wow.
Because the people that could buy it first obviously bought it because everyone thinks the set looks great from what I can tell.
Yeah.
So that could happen. Plus, there could be other things because on Black Friday, usually the week before Black Friday, Lego does bonus points and a bunch of other stuff. So people are probably going to hit that, especially if the gift with purchase is that weekend and not the next weekend, because then everyone's going to be in essentially, we're going to be playing one giant game of the Prisoner's Dilemma, where if the gift with purchase is the following week, you're gambling the set's still going to be in stock. Because if you can't buy the set, you can't get the gift. Because as I found out the hard way one year, if you order a set and then it goes on back order, they don't set one of those aside. You just get whatever they've got at that point. Because I was supposed to get, I was supposed to get another Revan. And I got Wolf Yularen. Which, by the way, that is one hell of a downgrade.
I'm sorry?
The Revan figure, retail, I sold mine for $300. Okay? I think I sold the last Wolf Yularen I had for $15.
That is a severe downgrade.
Yes. Now, having said all that, if I would have had a second one, I would have opened it. So, I might have felt like a complete fool at that point. So, yeah, I don't know. We're going to see what's going to happen there. And presumably, I think we're going to have, since we know this far out, I'm assuming we're going to have pictures.
Oh, more than likely.
Because the Blacktron one, that's the only one recently where it was almost up to release before we saw pictures. But we only knew about it a month or two ahead of time. This is different. We're in January. We're talking about something that's going to be released in November, the end of November. So I'm assuming we're going to get pictures between now and then. I just want to see the new castle. It's supposed to be a new Creator 3-in-1 castle. Also supposed to be a unicorn castle. I don't know what the hell that's all about, but
I'm curious if it's a unicorn-themed castle, a unicorn-shaped castle, or a castle for unicorns.
Could be all of the above. But it's supposed to be a 3-in-1 set. It's $40, and then the other one's $120 as a 3-in-1. So the bigger one's supposed to be replacing the current creator because it's supposed to retire this year finally. So yeah, get those while you can, folks.
Yeah.
So you can get your 6 that you need to build the things that people show crazy videos for here on YouTube. Like, here, I just bought 6 of these. I actually, I read a thing there on one of the Facebook groups. Someone was asking about that. And everyone was like, dude, just buy the $400 castle. It's a better castle.
Yeah.
Like, you get better figures. It's a better build. And also, it's more adaptable if you want to take it apart and build other things with it. Like, there's alternate instructions for it, too, that people have made. So, because there's people that have bought more than one of that. And, I look at that and I'm just like, there's a part of it that says if I had the space in the room, yeah, sure I would. There's another part of it's like, that's $800.
You could have the space for it.
Yeah, if I took out my current castle.
Yep.
Or just moved it. If I took out my Dwarven Forge display that's on top of my flat table.
You don't want to get rid of that.
No, I really don't, because that's my resin stuff. I'm never going to take that anywhere to use it.
It's too heavy.
Yeah, and actually kind of fragile. Kind of fragile.
Unlike Dwarvenite.
I mean, they're rocks. They might chip. Whereas the other's Dwarvenite. I can run that over and it'll be all right. I think I haven't tested that hypothesis. Someone actually did with the old D&D minis. There used to be a video of it on YouTube. Whenever WizKids used to make them.
Yeah.
Didn't do a damn thing to the miniature. Those things are indestructible. They're going to outlast the nuclear apocalypse. The ones WizKids make, they're brittle in comparison.
Oh, I believe it.
Not as brittle as the HeroClix figures used to be. I sent some of those somewhere one time and a whole bunch of them broke. Lesson learned on that one. Anyway, Chad, you got any closing thoughts on the Star Trek debacle?
It is going to be one big debacle.
What? Let's say this is all true, because the fact that there's a second rumor tells me it is. What other ship do you think they can make beyond the A? Well, probably the original, not the A, but even though they look the same.
Voyager?
Think so? You think they jump Deep Space Nine and go to Voyager, or?
See, what I would do if I was them, if this one does good, I would actually probably make Deep Space Nine next.
Yeah.
And because they would get reuse out of Worf. They get reuse out of Picard's body. They just have to make a head for Cisco.
Well, the question there is, do we get Commander Cisco or Captain Cisco? I think we'd probably get 2 different Cisco figures.
We get Prophet Cisco.
I think we'd get Commander Cisco with hair.
Ooh,
then Captain Cisco with no hair and the goatee and the different uniform.
There we go.
I think we get some multiple parts there. And that's the other problem, is their uniforms change partway through.
Yeah.
So maybe it just comes with a whole lot of figures or torsos or something.
Then I would do Voyager after Deep Space Nine. Actually, I wouldn't even do Voyager after the actual Deep Space Nine. I'd do the Defiant after Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine should come with a small, little, tiny brick-built one that can dock with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool. That'd definitely be a feature worth having. You can do that for a couple different kinds of ships. You can do one for the Enterprise, because it's there in the pilot and a later episode.
You can do that
Defiant.
for Cardassian ships.
Yeah, the one
you can do it for Ferengi ships.
Yeah.
Then I would do Voyager. Then after Voyager, I'd go to the Enterprise E.
The E?
Yes.
Not the NX?
I'd go E, then NX.
Yeah.
Or, if you can get the price point down low enough with Voyager, because Voyager is a smaller ship, release Voyager, the Defiant, and the Enterprise NX all at the same time. They're smaller ships, smaller crews, you'd be able to do it, I think. It wouldn't stretch customer wallets too much.
So I'm just waiting to find out that it in fact is essentially like high-grade MIDI scale, just has figures with no interior.
Okay, it's still gonna sell.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it will. I'm just saying, like, if they do that, then the other ships become more manageable. Because, like you said, the Voyager's smaller, the Defiant, the Ferengi ships, they're smaller. Vulcan ships, at least the one that brought Spock to the Enterprise in the motion picture, is fairly small. The Borg cube won't be small, but it'll be easy to build. Have a big hole for the sphere to come out from the Queen.
And if this 3,000 piece set sells well, we could get MIDI scale Star Trek sets.
Yeah,
I would be more inclined to buy than...
I would have to believe they didn't get the license just for the one ship. Like even
two.
Oh, sorry, I forgot the gift of purchase, the one they're going to give you for free. Yeah, I would have to think they didn't do it just for that. Because, I mean, hell, even the Transformers one has 2 figures with a third one coming out this year. Soundwave, if I remember right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, well.
To think all this could have been avoided if they would have just kept Creo.
Creo. I sold my Creo Transformers a couple months ago. I think I still have some rando G.I. Joe Creos floating around. Have some Mario. They weren't Creos. I can't remember what the brand though was, but they're compatible with Lego. So like they look like close to Lego scale figures. Just they're 3D. They're rounded and everything.
They tried one before Creo, right?
I know there was the G.I. Joe vehicles that were brick built. That also like the guys like their forearms had where you could put bricks on them.
They had some Transformers ones of that too.
Yeah,
built to rule.
Yeah. Well, that's a video for another day, Chad.
It is.
So I think we've about hit our time here.
Yeah.
So we're going to get going. So let us know what you think of these fabulous things to be down in the comments.
Are you looking forward to Gundam Assemble?
Yes. Are you going to fight for the glorious principality of Zeon? Or are you going to be one of the Earth Federation swine who Amuro foolishly supports?
Bobby, I just want to point this out. Neither side's good. Just go with whatever side has the better looking mech to you.
You're right on that. Like, the Federation's trash, but Gairin Zabi's own father, Daegwin Zabi, equated him to the head of the German Socialist Party from the 1930s and 40s. And he took it as a compliment.
Yeah.
So it's fun what you can see in the subtitled version of those movies. And of course there is the Zeon Hail.
Yeah. And for the Lego one, are you guys going to be saving up your money for it?
I'm fairly certain I could actually say that on here. I mean, I'm not going to, but I'm pretty sure I can, because there's videos where like people do it.
Why would you?
Because it's just German for Hail Zeon.
They're not just like referring to someone named Zeke Zeon?
Not quite.
Okay.
Yes, because that means hail. So yes, because the Zeons, in case folks can't figure it out by the name, are patterned after a certain group of people to an extent. If you take the sounds that the word Zeon makes and reverse some of it, you can figure out what I'm talking about. Even though it's spelled Zeon. And they do not have... Well, I take it back. Gairin did have sights on the whole master race thing going on.
Yeah.
Even though he wasn't a new type.
Nope.
But he was all about the new types.
They were useful.
Yeah, well. Then he killed his dad, Daegwin. And then his sister Cassilia killed him. And then Char killed her. Round and round it goes. But yeah, well, I got set in motion because Dagon was stupid and killed Xeon Daikun, but didn't kill his kids. That was the fatal flaw in the plan. Because one of them goes on to become a spoiler alert for a show from 1979. Kazval Ren Daikun is Char Aznavour.
And his sister's on the white base.
Yes, he's also the origin for the opposing character in anime and video games to have a red outfit and blonde hair. By the way,
and a metal mask.
Yeah, so like Ken and Ryu from Street Fighter, Zero and Proto Man from the Mega Man games, like it's all him.
Zex Marquis from Gundam Wing.
That's because Zex Marquis is just a direct rip-off of Char.
He is. I'll admit it.
Oh, I used to think Gundam Wing was so much better until I saw the Universal Century and realized how much of it was just a rip-off of that.
Well, then you need to watch the series that makes you realize Gundam Wing's so much better, too. G Gundam. Ooh, I wonder if we'll see any G Gundam. Gundams.
Chad, no one will make anything from G... Well, no, Bandai might, but no one else ever will for G Gundam. Like, they will scream racism at G Gundam so bad. Like...
But we need the Mexico Gundam.
The Tequila Gundam. With the sombrero, the Cactus Club. The American Gundam that's wearing a football helmet, has boxing gloves and 6 shooters. The Russian Gundam with the big Russian hat. I think it's the Swiss Gundam's the big windmill, or is that the Dutch Gundam?
That's Dutch.
The Zebra Gundam from Africa that looks like a tribesman with a big spear.
Hey, the Scandinavian one's literally a Viking with a longbow.
Yeah, the British one looks like a palace guard, right?
Yeah. And the French one looks like a fencer with a fancy shoulder cape.
Yeah. Oh, man. Like, I thought those were fake when I first saw them. And I was like, oh my god, this is the show.
The Canadian Gundam's just a lumberjack.
I've never actually watched the show. But
you should.
Like, I see this and I'm just like, oh my god.
You should.
I had figures for some of them. I don't remember which ones off the top of my head. I had the Devil Gundam in its final form.
Yeah.
Or second last form.
That would be a good one to get for it.
Yeah. That'd take up like 8 hexes.
By the way, in G Gundam, it's revealed all those windmills are Gundams. It's great.
So anyway.
It's great.
Maybe we'll get the G Gundam expansion later on.
Oh, the Egyptian Gundam's a mummy.
Yeah, of course. I think the Indian Gundam has... I think this one... Does it turn to like a big bell? But like it's got like the ring and the breeze fire and everything. It's like all the like Hindu, Indian kind of stereotypes mixed together.
And then you have one that's a snake. Can't remember which one that is.
Yeah. Oh man. G Gundam.
G Gundam's glorious.
Well, anyway, I'm keeping Chad here, so let us know what you think down there of the potential for that game. Are you interested in the Lego sets? You're going to check it out. You're going to get into the mad scramble to try to get the shuttlecraft.
I'm not getting in on that mad scramble.
Just going to resign yourself to paying like $100 later? Oh, I didn't finish my anecdote. The reason I brought up the whole Baradur thing, set came out less than a year ago. Came with a ring wraith on a fell beast. That was the free gift with purchase. Goes for like $150 right now. And it's not even a particularly good set. Like, I could probably take that upcoming 3-in-1 dragon and make a better looking fell beast with the parts from that.
Probably.
And I have ring wraith figures from the last time we had Lord of the Rings sets. So, yeah, it's silly. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get 2 of them so I can pay for the cost of this Enterprise. I've already told Chad my plan. I don't think he approves, but anyway, it's nothing illegal, folks.
No, it's not.
Immoral, maybe, but
Gen Con could fund it.
I tell you what might end up funding it. Did I tell you? I think I wound up with like 13 or 14 of those battle packs of like the Ahsoka clone troopers, the ones that were with her.
Yeah.
Because I bought them for $6 each. I ended up just buying all of them that we had.
Cool.
So, like, you know, if I sell them for even $12, double my money outlay on all of it. Like, yeah. I even got some other sets on clearance too. I got some more Darth Vader mechs because they were $7. I bought two
Not
more.
bad.
I bought 2 more Stormtroopers that I'm going to keep, and I bought Boba Fett that I'm going to keep. But yeah, like I just keep finding them, and like they're not marked right. So like it says, like those battle packs, they're like $13.50, $6. So yeah, like after they were there for like a week, I gave everyone their chance. I just bought them all.
Yeah.
And I've got like 14 of those Dragonborn guys. So
you're going to sell all this.
That's right. Sell
To
them.
buy the Enterprise and get your Galileo shuttlecraft.
Yes. Yeah, I'll actually keep that one.
Unless it ends up being like a $500.
Well, yeah, if it's worth $500 and I still haven't built it, then at that point it's like,
Well, let's face it, you're going to build it.
Well, I still haven't put the Forest Man set together yet. That's basically like a reissue of an old set that I got as the gift of purchase. I might have actually just bought that one. Because some of them, if you get them right after they come out, they're not very expensive. It's later on they go up in price. But anyway, we're back to rambling and we need to get going. So let us know down in the comments what you think about all this. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We always appreciate it. Sharing and commenting are the things that help us spread the channel. Your comments help us improve the channel. But yeah, that's about all we got today. So thank you folks for tuning in, and we will catch you later.
Oh.